Well, joining us now, South Carolina Senator presidential candidate Tim Scott with us today. Sir, it is good to see you. Thank you for joining Newsline.
Absolutely. Good to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure, sir. All right, let's talk about things. New Hampshire's very busy right now. We know in about a half an hour, Nikki Haley will be talking to voters in the Granite State there. Obviously, since the debate, she's gotten a little bit of a bump in the polls. And, this is the time, I think, where a lot of folks are seeing what you're bringing to it as well. And what are your thoughts about her surge since that first GOP debate?
You know, what I've been focusing on is what the American people want to hear, and especially in Iowa and New Hampshire. Being in the Granite State just a few days ago, coming back tomorrow and Friday, I'm looking forward to delivering my message about why America can do for anyone what she's done for me. We're going to focus on restoring hope, creating opportunities, and protecting the America we all love. That starts for me with backing the blue and closing our southern border. It's led to the deaths of more than 70,000 Americans. So while I don't have the time to watch the polls, I have lots of time to talk to people. And that's how we win this campaign.
You just talked about the border, and we had Mark Morgan on talking about the children there and the humanitarian crisis, in addition to the possible national security threat. You've made a pledge to finish the border wall. What is your plan and for that, and a time frame for that? A lot of Americans say we have to protect our borders, not only because of the terror threat, but also because of the amount of fentanyl that is coming across too, killing innocent Americans.
You raised two really important points. In the last couple of years under Joe Biden, we've seen more than 200 people on our national security watch list caught at our border. It raises the question, how many did they not catch? How many people came into our country through our southern border who flew from China or Iran and just walked across our southern border? And then the deaths of 70,000 Americans in the last 12 months because of fentanyl. The precursors come from China, manufactured in Mexican labs, and then the cartels bring them across. We must crush the cartels. For $10 billion, we can finish the wall. And for $5 billion, we can use the available military-grade technology to stop human trafficking and to detect fentanyl before it crosses our border.
Important issues. It does seem like most of the coverage lately, as you know, Senator Scott, has been on either Trump's legal issues, Biden's age. These things maybe are getting lost in some of the other important issues that are happening, that are hitting Americans at home, like the economy.
Yes, there's no doubt that if you look at the last 2 years in the Joe Biden, inflation has raged as high as 9% in 1 month, 16% since he's taken office. Let me translate that for all of us. That's 40% higher gas prices, 20% higher food costs, 20% higher for your electricity, thousands of dollars of lost spending power for the average family. We need to turn the spigot off, stop spending what we don't have, buying what we don't need, trying to impress the world unimpressed. If we get back to forcing the issue of staying within our budget, and I'm not talking about a post-COVID budget, I'm talking about a pre-COVID budget. We cannot weave into the federal spending the trillions of dollars of additional spending because of Joe Biden in post-COVID America.
I know you mentioned that you don't focus on the polls, but it is clear Donald Trump is really crushing everyone and has been far ahead for a while. He said some really nice things about you, Senator Scott, as well. Why stay in? Why fight so hard, even though it does seem like he's running away with it?
Well, it's still early in the election process. Without any question, the former president and I did a lot of good work together. If you like tax cuts and the Jobs Act, where we returned to the average American family more than $4,000. I was one of the chief authors of that bill. President Trump signed the legislation, Opportunity Zones, the strongest, most powerful force for fighting poverty. I authored that legislation, worked with President Trump to get it across the finish line. What we need is a president who not only controls our domestic economy by setting our free markets and our capitalists free, we also must have the power of persuasion so that we get independent voters voting with the GOP, the Great Opportunity Party. Without that, I don't know that we win. So my objective is to take the same success we had while we were in the majority. Couple that with a strong red wave, we can have a majority in the Senate, expand our majority in the House, and with me as president, I believe we could have another American century.
Well, presidential candidate Senator Tim Scott, busy guy today in D.C. Tomorrow will be in New Hampshire, where Nikki Haley is today. Thanks for your time today. Good to touch base with you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. God bless.
Thank you.